I found it in the back of the closet, folded up like a winter prayer. That old brown jacket with the worn out lining still had your perfume in the air. I held it up to the window light, and Lord, it took me clean away to that first hard road we took together when we had more hope than pain. I can see us laughing at a gas station map. You said, baby, we ain't lost. I said, that's a matter of fact. The jacket she left behind, the jacket she left behind, it still fits the shape of time. The jacket she left behind. I remember those long, quiet nights, talking low till the whole house slept. You tell me dreams like they were already written, and I was the one who kept. We'd argue over little things like dishes in the sink or where to go. Then I'd pull you close in the doorway, and we'd let that hard thing go. Two stubborn hearts in a narrow little room. We learned how to bend before we broke into the jacket she left behind. The jacket she left behind, it still fits the shape of time. The jacket she left behind. Now the buttons are loose and the cuffs are frayed, but the hands that held you still know their way. I don't call it a ghost, I don't call it a sign, just a piece of a life we live, still hanging in my mind. The jacket she left behind, the jacket she left behind. I can wear it in my mind. Ooh, the jacket she left behind. The road went on, and you did too, but love leaves marks that stay true. The jacket she left behind, I lay it back and let it be. Ooh, the jacket she left behind. I pulled in past the pumps where the sign lost half its glow. Same cracked lock, same screen door, but Lord, it feels so slow. I asked the man behind the glass for the room I knew by name. He looked me in my aging face like I was just some rain. I said, "You don't remember me?" He said, "I'm sorry, son." I said, "Just one thing, please. You know the one, room 214. Room 214. You know what I mean? Room 214. Back then the summer burned on her skin and on the sheets. She laughed with peaches in her hair and bare feet on the heat. We'd leave our shoes by the door and our dreams on the floor. I was young and she was mine, like I'd never been before. Now the paint is peeled and thin, the pool is filled with dust, but I can still hear her voice in the hush between the rust. Room 214. Room 214. You know what I mean? Room 214. I stood there with my suitcase and a heart full of old flame. The man slid me the key card, but it wasn't quite the same. The bed was new, the curtains too. The clock had lost its hands. Still I saw her on the pillow, and me, a younger man. Room 214. Room 214. You know what I mean? Room 214. I came back down that highway where the paint had peeled from time. The feed store's gone, the movie house, now there's glass where they had pine. But Rosie stood there shining, like she knew I'd find my way. Same red door, same window booth, same old name above the tray. The last booth at Rosie's Diner. The last booth at Rosie's Diner. I sat down where my heart began. The last booth at Rosie's Diner. That's the booth where I first saw her, laughing at the pie she'd bought, hair tied up in a yellow scarf, and my hand forgot my thought. want some coffee? She knew then what I was after. We talked till the clock ran out, and that booth turned into laughter. The last booth at Rose's Diner. The last booth at Rose's Diner. I sat down where my heart began. The last booth at Rose's Diner. We dreamed up a little house on the edge of town someplace, a screen door slapping in the wind, and her dress hung by the lace. Some years the money ran real thin. We counted coins for Sunday, but she'd reach across this same old booth and make the hard times feel like one day. I seen the years go passing by like trucks on out the lane. We buried bills, we raised our boys, we learned how to hold pain. And when she left me with her ring in that soft chair. I still hear her name in that waitress voice, like she's telling me she's there. The last booth at Rose's Diner. The last booth at Rose's Diner. I sat down where my heart began. The last booth at Rose's Diner. Tonight I sat there quiet, and I swear I saw her face across that little sugar jar. Time gave us back our place. She smiled like no years happened, like she just leaned in to say, boy, you took your sweet time getting here. Then the whole world slipped away. I blinked, and there was only my coffee and the rain. But I felt so full of living, I could welcome back the pain. The last booth at Rose's Diner. The last booth at Rose's Diner. Some love stays in the wood and chrome. The last booth at Rose's Diner. The last booth at Rose's Diner. I left my tears and found my peace. The last booth at Rose's Diner. So if you ever roll on by there and you need a place to rest, take that booth by the window. It still knows who loved the best. And if your heart has been blessed once, you'll know just what I mean. Some folks live on in a memory, and some in a diner scene. walks past the barber, past the shut at 5 and dime, where the bus stop used to tremble at the same old worn out time. He sees new glass, new paint, new names on every door, but there's one rusted boot still standing, like it's waiting by the store. He lifts that heavy handset, feels the cold chain in his hand, sees her coat in July rain, like it's still a living plan. That day the sky was copper and his heart was running bare. Then that rain cut through his whole life like a prayer in the air. He heard his name, clear and slow. He held his breath and let it go. One voice said, "Come on home," and the whole world turned to gold. The last payphone in town, the last payphone in town. That ring still shakes him down. The last payphone in town. Last payphone in town. Now kids walk by with headphones, never even lift their eyes. He smiles at their hurry, at their pocket-sized goodbyes. They don't know what he knows about a coin and a chance, how one old call can save a lifetime, how one small ring can lead to dance. He heard his name, clear and slow. He held his breath and let it go. One voice said, "Come on home," and the whole world turned to gold. The last payphone in town, the last payphone in town. That ring still shakes him down. The last payphone in town. Sometimes he brings the flowers, leaves one stem beside the glass, says the day they found forever didn't ask to hurry past. If the city ever tears it down, he'll stand there till the end. 'Cause some directions in this life only come through once, my friend. The last payphone in town, the last payphone in town. That ring still shakes him down. The last payphone in town, the last payphone in town. He heard love call him out at the last payphone in town. In the back of the bottom drawer, under old ties and a faded war, I found your name in a yellowed fold, still sharp as a hand I never hold. A stamp on the corner never used, a midnight promise I never used. Wait, no. I came back through town tonight with my hands on the wheel so tight, past the diner, past the mill, where the old creek runs quiet and still. Then I turned on Maple Street, and my heart forgot its beat. There it was in the dark, that little porch light glowing hard, and I could see her window pane like it knew my name. The last light on Maple Street, still burning soft for me. The last light on Maple Street got me down on my memory. I drove on slow, I let it be. The last light on Maple Street. I saw two kids in my mind, spinning slow in borrowed time, her hand in mine at 17, summer sweet in gasoline. We made our vows by a post under that streetlight silver ghost. Then sorrow came like winter rain and split that boardwalk lane. I wondered if she heard my car, or if she still looks out from where you are, if she recalls the boy I was and the love we lost. The last light on Maple Street, still burning soft for me. Oh, the last light on Maple Street got me down on my memory. I drove on slow, I let it be. The last light on Maple Street. I held the door, then I let it go. Some things you love you don't get to know. Maybe she sleeps, maybe she's awake, maybe her heart still aches. But I was not the man to knock. I just rolled through that quiet block. The last light on Maple Street, still burning soft for me. Oh, the last light on Maple Street kept every ghost in company. I drove on slow, I let it be. The last light on Maple Street. The last light on Maple Street. I carried it home with me. He sits where the coffee's thin on a stool by the window pane. Rain keeps tap, tap, tapping on a glass that knows his name. The waitress calls him honey, like she said it all before. He stirs the cup in front of him, then he stirs it once more. He ain't looking for a rescue, ain't trying to turn back time. Just a man with a little ache and a heart that's learning to be kind. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, that's where her memory lives on. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, he still feels what's been gone. Her laugh in a paper cup, her hand on the dashboard, the way she said goodbye still hurts, still good, still good. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, between midnight and dawn. He remembers her coffee cup with the chip blue edge on the side, how she'd wrap her hands around it like she was warming up her life. The dashboard held her fingers in the yellow from the street, and every red light on the avenue was a small goodbye to keep. He ain't asking for forgiveness, ain't calling out a name. He just lets the evening pass like a photograph in rain. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, that's where her memory lives on. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, he still feels what's been gone. Her laugh in a paper cup, her hand on the dashboard, the way she said goodbye still hurts, still good, still good. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, somewhere between midnight and dawn. No anger in his silence, no fire in his chest, just the slow unclasping of a love that couldn't rest. He watches water on the window like it's learning how to leave, and he nods at all the empty, because empty's part of being free. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, that's where a memory lives on. Somewhere between midnight and dawn, he still feels what's been gone. Her laugh in a paper cup, her hand on the dashboard, the way she said goodbye still hurts, still good, still good. Somewhere the rain to that diner off the bend. Same cracked booth by the window, same waitress, same old grin. I was 25 and restless, hard hat still on my head. Loved a girl named Caroline, and 1,000 roads ahead. The ketchup stood like soldiers, the coffee tasted bold, and every face in that room still wore the years like gold. The old jukebox in the corner, the old jukebox in the corner. One song and I was young again, the old jukebox in the corner. Back then I had a pickup and a map full of grace. My dreams were built on Friday nights and a house we'd learn to raise. I swore I'd take the hard way, but I'd take her hand and stay. Now the phone glows in the pocket and the miles just slip away. Outside the town went faster, inside the clock stood still. But that chrome box in the corner could bend a broken will. The old jukebox in the corner, the old jukebox in the corner. One song and I was young again, the old jukebox in the corner. They got highways round the county, and the fields have given in. Folks order food on screens now and forget who sat with them. But the booth is still the booth now, and the vinyl still can shine. When I hear that first note rise up, I borrow back my time. I saw her in a summer dress by the fairground Ferris wheel. She laughed and slipped her fingers through my rough and trembling hand. We danced beside the bandstand with the whole night at our feet, and I never knew I'd carry that one warm spark through me. The old jukebox in the corner, the old jukebox in the corner. One song and I was young again, the old jukebox in the corner. So let the years keep rolling, let the world go change its name. I've got that little doorway, and I still can hear her sing. The old jukebox in the corner, the old jukebox in the corner. I don't mourn what's gone away, I smile and let it play. was one summer night. Your dress on the seat, windows rolled down low, warm air on our cheeks, the radio fading from one town to the next, and I held your hand like it was a prayer. We missed our exit just by a mile. I said, turn back now. You said, drive a while. So I kept on rolling past the white guardrail, and the road went on like it knew our trail. The night we missed the highway exit, the night we missed the highway exit, we found our way by losing our way. Little towns are sleeping with their porch lights low, headlights on the pavement, cutting through the dark. You laughed at my nerves, then you told me yours. Said you feared the same small, lonely years. You wanted a house with the shade tree out front. I said I'd come home if the world would let me. You said you were scared. I was scared too. I was scared too. But that old black road still carried us through. And the miles kept talking soft and slow about where we'd been and where we'd go. We spoke of children and Sunday clothes, of work and wanting, and the things we know. The night we missed the highway exit, the night we missed the highway exit, we found our way by losing our way. Some dreams came easy, some dreams came late, some doors stayed open, some would not wait. We had our bright days, we had our rain, some love stayed close, some turned to pain. But I remember that car and your voice beside me, like the whole wide world was waiting outside me. And I was a young man, learning your name, learning how love can change its shape. Now years have gone by and I can lose whole seasons, forget where I left keys, forget the names of reasons. But I still hear you clear in that running car, every word you said like a church at dawn. I can't recall the dates of the big hard years, but I remember your laugh and I remember your tears. That one missed turn becomes my proof that a life can bend and still stay true. Now I drive alone on that same old line, same pale moon hanging, same soft summertime. I see that exit sign and I ease my grip. I smile to myself and let it slip. Not because I want what time took away, but because I thank God for that night we stayed, for the road we took when we should have turned. was the summer of '75. I was lean and 21, boarded that iron morning south, with my shirt sleeves rolled in the sun. Fields kept sliding by the glass like a prayer I couldn't name, and I saw her stare across the car like she already knew my name. She had a smile like a match struck clean, and a voice like a worn-out hymn. We said hello with a paper cup, and the whole world leaned right in. The summer train to Memphis, the summer train to Memphis. It took my heart and ran. Oh, yeah. The summer train to Memphis, the summer train to Memphis. But I never lost that land. She told me stories from her home, how her daddy worked the docks. I told her mine and she laughed so hard she nearly shook the tablecloth. In the dining car with the silver doors, we passed that sugar pie. She said, "Boy, you look like trouble." I said, "I'm trying my best to try." And the miles fell away like rain, while the wheels kept their steady tune. We were young enough to believe love might catch us by the moon. The summer train to Memphis, the summer train to Memphis. It took my heart and ran. The summer train to Memphis, the summer train to Memphis. I lost a hand in the wind, but I never lost that land. At the station late in Memphis heat, she stood with her dress half turned. I reached for words, but the whistle cried and taught me what I'd learned. She said, "Maybe fate is just a door that opens once and closes fast." Then she kissed my cheek and stepped away like a shadow made of glass. Now I'm old and the years have gone, but I still see her face in every window, every mile, in every empty space. Some souls come like a summer storm and leave a scar that shines. Brief as smoke on a platform rail, long as the rest of time. The summer train to Memphis, summer train to Memphis. It took my heart. Some people pass right through and live forever in your hands. So if you see a boy in the glass with a girl he can't forget, know some love just boards your life and never leaves you yet. I was turning the dial with the room half dark, paper on the table, rain on my car. Then that old station came through clear as day. Same song, same feeling, pulled me back your way. And I sat right still, like I knew your name. My heart got honest, same old flame. I could see that train, I could feel that night. You in my arms, under city light. Midnight radio, take me home again. Midnight radio, where the lost love lives. Turn that memory slow, let it heal, let it spin. Midnight radio, I still believe in it. I kept your vinyl in a warm blue sleeve. Last time I played it, I could barely breathe. Now it's just me and that speaker glow, hearing every promise I was too young to know. And I smiled through tears at the way it turned. Some door station, some hearts still learn. You don't fade away, you just change your song. In the dark of night, you were there all along. Midnight radio, take me home again. Midnight radio, where the lost love lives. Turn that memory slow, let it heal, let it spin. Midnight radio, I still believe in it. Maybe love don't leave, it just goes underground, waiting on a needle, waiting on a sound. So if you're out there in some far off sky, meet me in the static when the world runs dry. Midnight radio, take me home again. Midnight radio, where the lost love lives. Turn that memory slow, let it heal, let it spin. Midnight radio, I still believe in it. Midnight radio, if you can hear me now. Midnight radio, I'm still here somehow. January on the wall, and the receiver by my bed. I left one light on for you, like the doctor said. Every ring in the building made my whole heart stand. I'd grab that phone so fast with my trembling hand. I told myself, be patient. I told myself, hold still. Maybe you just need time. Maybe you always will. The phone never rang again. The phone never rang again. I kept my heart on standby. The phone never rang again. March came in with rain on the busted window glass. I watched the screen go dark and another month slipped past. I wore your last goodbye like a suit that fit too tight. Even in the afternoon, I was waiting through the night. I told myself she's busy. I told myself she'll try. But the dial tone kept its mercy, and my name stayed dry. The phone never rang again. The phone never rang again. I kept my heart on standby. The phone never rang again. By some of the porch boards swelled under the sun. The ice in my glass melted, and my foolish hopes stayed young. I'd hear the neighbors' laughter and think that was your step. Then I'd face the quiet like a promise I still kept. I stopped checking for the hour. I stopped asking when. I knew the line was empty, but I listened just the same. The phone never rang again. The phone never rang again. I kept my heart on standby. The phone never rang again. By the time the leaves were falling, I could name that kind of pain. Not the kind that cuts you quickly, just the kind that stays unnamed. So I folded up your number, put the paper in my hand, and I learned that some goodbyes don't come with a plan. The phone never rang again. The phone never rang again. I let go of what I wanted. Oh, the phone never rang again. Winter found me older, with my coat on the chair. I still keep that old phone, though I don't reach for it there. If you're caught, I'd forgive you, but I don't expect to hear. The silence made a man of me after all these years. Every Friday night we'd wear the floor thin, your hand on my shoulder, my heart caved in. We'd order one drink and let the world slide. That same sweet record kept time inside. Then the room would melt away and the old hurt fade. With every turn you'd pull me close, like you meant to stay. The song they played on Friday nights, the song they played on Friday nights, it brings you back inside. It brings you back inside. Years roll like thunder, took your smile from view. I thought I was over, but I still could not lose. Then from that old jukebox in a corner bar, it found me running like it knew where you are. One rusty coin, one broken globe, and suddenly I'm 22 with nowhere else to go. The song they played on Friday nights, the song they played on Friday nights, it brings you back inside. It brings you back inside. I could see your dress, I could feel that spin, I could taste that first kiss all over again. Now the room is empty, but I'm not alone. You're in that old melody, still calling me home. The song they played on Friday nights, the song they played on Friday nights, it brings you back inside. It brings you back inside. One slow turn, one last embrace, and there you are in that same old place. The song they played on Friday nights, the song they played on Friday nights. Yeah, I eased past Willow Lane in my old blue car. end of the road, there it was. Pain ain't the same, and the trees grew tall, but I knew that house by the way it stood. Two children were laughing in a yard I didn't know. A swing had changed on the front porch rail, and I sat real still with my hands on the wheel, like a man at a church door, too late for the service. Then it hit me slow, like an old song does. The board's the light, the years we trust. We came here young, with a few dollars left, and a hardback dream in a paper sack. The house on Willow Lane held our lives. The house on Willow Lane held our lives. We built it slow with our own two hands. The house on Willow Lane still understands. I see that first night with the rent in hand, one lamp, one chair, and a busted table leg. You laughed and said, that'll do for now. So we turned that scarred up wood into a supper place. We sanded the drawers and we fixed that hinge, struck a prayer and a nail to make it sing. No money to spare, but we had each other, and that was rich as a bank on payday. Sunday record spun by the open screen, you in your apron, me with my coffee tin. We danced in the kitchen, bare feet and slow, dreaming out loud of the road ahead. The house on Willow Lane held our lives. The house on Willow Lane held our lives. We built it slow with our own two hands. The house on Willow Lane still understands. Now your name is a hush in the back of my mind, but your smile comes back when I close my eyes. You left this world years ago, my love. Still I find you here in every room I knew, and I don't feel robbed, I don't feel used. I feel blessed that I walk with you. What we made there didn't disappear, it just learned to live inside the years. The house on Willow Lane held our lives. The house on Willow Lane held our lives. We built it slow with our own two hands. The house on Willow Lane still understands. So I drove on home with a quiet heart. Thank you, love, for the life we start. The house still stands at the end of the lane, and I carry it like a candle flame. I was 17 and sunburned, with a gas tank full of hope, 2 hands on that old steering wheel, and a heart that learned to float. We'd drive past the sleeping cotton with the radio turned high, and every song felt like forever when you were by my side. County fair dust on my shoes, your hand in mine so right. Ferris wheels spun silver moons beneath that August sky. Summer of '75, you were mine that night. Summer of '75, burning in my mind, is gone. When it goes by, summer of '75, you made me feel alive. We stood by the fried corn vendor, laughing with a paper cone. You said dreams don't always stay, but we can call them home. We talked about California and a house with a painted porch. I thought we'd outrun the ending with your kiss out by the Ford. Late night road, dashboard glow, that old dial sang our tune. You looked at me like you already knew how fast the years move through. Summer of '75, you were mine that night. Summer of '75, burning in my mind. It's gone, I know, still I smile when it goes by. Summer of '75, you made me feel alive. Now the winters come and go, and my hair has turned to gray, but I keep that season folded up like a letter saved away. I can't walk back through that doorway, can't be who I was then. Still I bless that boy for loving like he'd never lose again. Summer of '75, you were mine that night. Summer of '75, burning in my mind. It's gone, I know, still I smile when it goes by.